Welcome to Baz Travels. After driving 14,826 kilometers through 24 states and Washington, D.C., I've seen rocket launches to the Grand Canyon and Hoover Dam. I've explored Route 66, ghost towns, deserts, snow, and beaches on both coasts. From Vegas casinos to Alcatraz, the White House to Hollywood. Join me for a journey of the ordinary and the extraordinary.
Loading destination. Simulation starting in 3, 2, 1. To look around, move your phone or tablet. Click and drag if on a computer or move your head if using a VR headset. Please like and subscribe.
Copper Mountain exists because of movement, not settlements. Unlike older Colorado mountain towns that grew from mining, rail stops, or agriculture, Copper was developed deliberately along an established transport corridor. Its location beside Interstate 70 is not incidental. It is the core reason the town functions at all. Before resort development, this area had little permanent use. The valley sits high, narrow, and exposed, with long winters and limited flat land. These conditions discouraged traditional settlements. What the area did offer was access. The 10-mile range creates a natural funnel through the mountains, and modern transport follows that alignment. Interstate 70 transformed this corridor into one of the most important east-west routes in Colorado. Once reliable, year-round access existed, the valley became viable for a controlled, purpose-built development. Copper Mountain was planned around that access rather than around local industry or resources. The layout reflects that origin. Copper is compact, contained, and clearly organized. Development is concentrated in a defined base area rather than spread along the valley. This keeps infrastructure efficient and limits sprawl in terrain that is difficult to support large populations. There is no traditional town grid. Instead, space is allocated according to function. Accommodation services and operations are positioned to support high seasonal use without creating permanent density. The result is a place that can scale up and down depending on demands. Land control plays a major role. Expansion is constrained by terrain, ownership, and planning decisions made early in the development. Copper was never intended to grow outward into a full town. It was designed to remain a node, a focus center without a large corridor. This design separates Copper from nearby communities that evolved organically. There is no historical main street, no legacy industry zone, and no residential sprawl beyond the resort footprint. Everything here exists to support a specific use, and everything outside that footprint remains largely undeveloped. Copper Mountain also functions as a buffer within the corridor. Its presence absorbs traffic, services, and seasonal pressure that might otherwise spill further along the route. In that sense, it operates as infrastructure as much as destination. The valley itself reinforces this role. Steep slopes, high elevation, and exposure limit alternate land use. The town fits where it does because there are few other workable options nearby. Geography enforces discipline on development. Copper Mountain is best understood not as a town that happened to become a resort, but as a resort that defines the town. Its form, scale, and permanence all come from that decision. It exists because access made it possible, planning made it stable, and constraint kept it contained. That combination explains why Copper Mountain feels controlled, efficient, and clearly defined within one of Colorado's busiest mountain corridors.
Simulation terminated. Please comment, like and subscribe.